So Andy, thank you so much, first of all, for allowing me to come crash your party, so to speak. You're building a wheelchair ramp, right, for a disabled veteran.
That's exactly right, for Mr. Fetzer. I think that's the way you pronounce his name.
So first of all, let's just start by telling the folks about SAWS. What is SAWS?
Okay. So SAWS is an ecumenical ministry. We are faith-based, but with no particular denomination or anything. We have built with the Jewish synagogue here in Evansville. We have all kinds of church members, and we have lay people and people who've never attended church come help us. But our intent is to provide home access to people who can't afford to do that themselves. So they go through a process where we have what we call a customer service representative call them, figure out the kinds of needs they have. And for instance, in this case, Mr. Fetzer could not get in and out of his house. He's wheelchair bound. He had no way with 3 or 4 steps to get in and out of his house.
Right.
And so we're going to build this ramp that allow him to get out to the sidewalk and have access to his back. It is income-based, so they have to be below a certain income level. And then we'll bring the volunteers, all the materials that we get through donations, and by the time we end today, he'll be running his wheelchair up and down this ramp. So.
What a great ministry you all have. I mean, truly, I mean, I've never heard, I apologize, I've never heard of SAWS before, and I was so glad to learn about your organization and the what you are providing for this community and I guess all over, right? Is it all over the country? Tell us about the reach of SAWS.
So SAWS started in Indianapolis, and they've now expanded to all of Indiana. There's a group that we actually trained. John did most of it. Trained the manager or the project manager in Mount Carmel. So they've built a couple in Illinois. We have some in Tell City. So we've now expanded from Vanderburgh County. We've grown from Evansville to Vanderburgh County to all of southern Indiana now.
Wow.
We cover the entire state. We also have a SAWS organization in Virginia and one in Arizona. So these are people that started in Indianapolis, have moved out from the Indianapolis area and started a SAWS ministry in those areas.
So you was telling me you all come here, do a site evaluation, and then you figure out exactly the size of the ramp you need. You kind of build the kit at another place.
That's exactly right.
And then you drive it in here on this Saturday morning, happens to be, and then it's like a puzzle, right? It's like a big puzzle. You piece it together?
So Wednesday night, we had another set of volunteers. Several of the people that are here today were also here on Wednesday night. But these ramp pieces and the things that look like frames, we built all those at our workshop, which is hosted by Bethany Christian Church. And we're very thankful for them to give us a garage space and a shelter house so we can what we call prefab. We can do all that. If the weather is bad, we move inside. If it's nice, we try to do it outside.
Yeah.
Load this trailer on Wednesday night, and everything we need is cut to, well, 90% of what we need is cut to spec. All the deck boards are cut, all the posts and all the framing's done, and we kind of take piece 1, hook piece 2 to it, and follow our way down. The challenge is when we get to the end.
Right.
We got to figure out how we can make that work for the client when we get down at the end. But
right.
Everything else is.
I'll tell
you
what.
Can read numbers, you can work on this project. So.
Sounds like you got it figured out. So let me ask you this: if a person, maybe in their community, maybe they don't have a SAWS, and maybe they want to start something like that, what's a website or some information that they can get?
So we're more than glad to help people expand. Like I said, we've got some people going in Illinois now. The best way to make contact is to go to sawsramps.org.
Okay.
And if they go to that website, there's a contact form that will put them in touch with our Indianapolis people, and we'll work. If you're from around southern Indiana, they'll connect them to us, and then we'll work with them to try to get another ministry started. For instance, if somebody wanted to do this in Owensboro, we'd be more than glad to go over there and help train them, get them set up. It's really a very simple process to make the ramp. We do very little digging. Everything sits above the ground. I personally didn't think it was going to work when I first saw it 4 or 5 years ago, but this is a great system and it's very easy for anybody to
Right.
not today with this client, but many times a client will be sitting out here watching us build the ramp.
Right.
We have one guy who comes and his primary job is to sit there and talk to the client.
Yeah.
So he answers his questions or her
Yeah.
questions, tells them what's going on.
Yeah.
And it's just, you know, our focus is on the client.
Right.
We build the ramp, but our focus is on the client.
Yes.
So there's as much ministry that goes on and goodwill that happens talking to the
Yes,
client as there is.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Andy, thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Now, I came here to help today, so
All right.
you just said a person
can-
can be working in 10 minutes, so
I can get you on the job.
maybe I can find me some gloves and some glasses and go do some work.
We'll definitely do that.
All right.
So,
Thank you
all
so
right.
much.
Thank you, guys. Yeah.